Welcome. Thank you for waiting. We had a lot of excitement here just a few minutes ago. Drama.
Not with me.
True to the title of the show, Animal Nature. We had some animal excitement here. We just had a feral dog intruder on the property, and our pups went completely insane.
Woof woof.
Woof woof. They ran off the intruder and protected the property. However, now they're all squeaking and need to go back out and do a perimeter check. So I'm going to send tech support out to walk the pups and make sure that they don't run to Argentina.
So Shelby gets very excited when she has to run off an intruder because she takes her job very seriously. And immediately after, she really needs to go to the bathroom.
Yes, she gets an upset belly.
We call them battle bears.
Battle
she's in the other room right now going,
I really have to go. And we're like, but we have to start the show. We have to start the show.
like, dogs, there's a live stream. Get in the house. All right, so I'm going to leave you with her, and I'm going to go walk the dogs, and I'll be right back. I'll even mute myself, just in case I had to yell at another dog.
So there you go, a perfect intro to a show called Animal Nature. Thank you everyone so much for coming. More people will be joining as the show goes on. And remember, it's not just me today. This is a collaboration between me and Jennifer Zimmermann. So we'll do a 2-hour show with yours truly and tech support and the pups. And then we'll take a 1-hour intermission during which you guys can get lunch or catch up on some videos or whatever, walk your own dogs. And then at 1 p.m. Eastern, we will all regroup in Jennifer's channel, where she will be, oh my God, the dog parade. You guys can probably hear the paws. Like, trot, 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 trot. No dogs in the studio, honey. No dogs in the studio. We will also show you the pups later on in the show. So today is, of course, all about animals, and I want to hear your animal stories. We'll be asking you questions about what kind of pets you have, what kind of pets you have had, and so on. So for the madness. For the coloring part, of course, I am working on this page that you guys know all about by now. This is Jennifer's gorgeous, gorgeous page called Noble Fox. This is from her book, Bella Futura. And I already did a tutorial on this. Most of you probably already saw the short 15, 20-minute tutorial on me coloring this fox in a very traditional manner in watercolor, in its natural colors, with a little bit of fantasy, with the galaxy effect on the background and the gemstone. So today, one of you suggested that I should flip the effect and actually put the galaxy effect on the fox and make the background orange. Of course, we won't be able to finish the entire page because this took several hours, more than 2 hours, and just straight up coloring with talking and chatting and the giveaways and the stories and the dogs. We won't get as much done, but I do plan to do most of the fur, at least on the face, and we'll do a separate segment on the gemstone. So I will be working with watercolors again for the fox fur, and I will be using the original coloring as my reference. Welcome back, dogs. Welcome back. Ticky tappy, ticky tappy. Bye. Bye. No, in their room. In their room. Otherwise they'll be coming over and stuff. The joy of having hardwood floors is that when the dogs run by, it's like somebody's walking by in high heel shoes, but 8 high heel shoes at the same time. So you guys can probably hear all of that echoing.
Dog drama.
So I will start with my watercolor. I'm using these guys. This is my very special magical set that doesn't seem to exist anywhere else on the planet. So don't ask me where you can get this exact same thing, because I also don't know where I got it. I got it from someone who got it from someone who got it from someone. But I do have a link to comparable watercolors in my video description. That's the same material, just different packaging. So if you look at the video description, all of the watercolors that I use are there, just they won't look that way in their Amazon links. So I will start on the blue background, on the blue base layer for the face. And while I'm doing that, we'll check in on on the live chat and see who's here and all that jazz.
I'm gonna steal the light. Can I tell him nerdy tech support stuff about what I've done?
Yes, please.
Hi, my name's Adrian Goings. I'm responsible for all of the technology that never works on this live stream. But it doesn't work for reasons that are not my fault. No, this is actually great.
Mostly.
Mostly. This is great. This is for those of you who are joining us, who are married or involved in a relationship with somebody who is also a tech nerd. You will probably recognize some of the things I'm about to say. We actually do have people who join this who are colorists and tech nerds. So, hey, welcome to the party.
Yes, we do.
We stream through a streaming destination called Restream, and we've been using a server in Miami, which was the closest of the US servers that I could find. And the other day, we had problems on this stream, we had problems on my live streams. I've started doing a daily live stream, which some of you are joining, so thank you for that.
Yes, Isolina was there, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's like, hi, I don't know what you're talking about. Hi.
That was very sweet.
So I spent some time really digging into issues, and I discovered, one, there was a bug in the firewall software that I use at our edge, where under certain conditions, it would just lock up for about 30 seconds, and then it would free itself, and then it would lock up again. That was
I didn't
creating...
turn my light on.
That was... That was creating big issues. So I did some digging, and I discovered that they've fixed that in the latest beta software, so I upgraded the firewall, and that problem seems to have gone away. But then that exposed another problem with the Miami Restream server. And Restream...
We're in Chile, by the way. Do they know this?
I figure at this point everybody knows who we are and where we are. So yeah, we're in Chile, which is really far away from everything. In fact, even within the bounds of Chile, we're far away from everything. But that's not important. Well, whatever. Anyway, I discovered that Restream has a streaming connector endpoint in Sao Paulo, Brazil, which is closer to us than Miami. And then I discovered that they actually return different addresses depending on when you do the query. Each time they return an address, it's only valid for 30 seconds, and then the system makes another request and gets a different address. Because of the way the streaming software works, it only makes that request the first time. If it happens to get, like whatever address it gets, that's the address it gets. Of the addresses that they return, they appear to be in two different data centers, one of which we're actually pretty close to. We're between 80 and 100 milliseconds, whereas we're about 200 milliseconds from Miami. The other one we're 200 to 300 milliseconds away from. So it was like luck of the draw which address got thrown at us depending on when we made the query. So I spent some time just making constant queries and keeping track of all the addresses that were returned. And now before the stream, I query all of those to find out which one has the lowest amount of traffic, the fastest response time, and I'm hard coding that as the one that we connect to. The end result of all of this is that probably nothing will work because that's just the way that it is. But it's more likely to work than before.
Which is great, which is a huge, huge improvement.
I'm watching the streaming throughput. Previously, we were getting about 1.5 megabits.
Previously, on Art with Tech Support.
Previously, we were getting between 1.5 megabits, but it would sometimes drop as low as 800. That was the firewall issue. And now I see that we are getting an average of 2.3 megabits per second. Our target is 2.5, but anything above 1.5 is actually good for you. So the end result of all of this, and I'll be done in just a moment. Thank you for not exiting out of the stream. Fortunately, we have some drawing going on, coloring over here that you can also pay attention to. The end result of all of this is we are running an ultra low latency on the chat. You should see us respond much faster. The stream should be fast.
Oh, and the giveaways, right? We'll see the winners sooner.
And because we're running an ultra low latency, the time between when we say something and when you see it is under 10. It's actually 10 seconds round trip from us to the internet and back to us. So it should be sub 5 seconds from us to you.
That's extraordinary.
It's extraordinary. Previously, it was between 20 seconds and a minute, so you all knew who won the giveaway before we did.
Yeah, everyone's already done congratulating the winner, and we're like, so-and-so won.
Yay!
It's like, yeah, we know.
So there you go. I hope that
Very
everything
exciting.
is... Oh, everybody loves your brooch.
Oh, thank you. This
Like
is
some Highlander brooch.
They can't see it though. How do they know?
They can see it right there.
Some Highlander brooch. Yes, this
I
brooch.
can't do a Scottish accent.
This brooch came to me from Madame Lori, who actually found it in the trash.
Really?
Yeah, she just found this on the side of the road. It's extraordinary. It's antique.
Okay.
Yeah.
It actually looks like the brooch that dude wore in Clash of the Titans.
Yeah.
The original one. The really bad one from the 80s?
It's really heavy. I can only wear it with super heavy sweaters and jackets. But
anyway, back to me. I'm working really hard to make sure that you guys have a really fantastic experience for her live streams.
Aww,
we have moderators telling me when stuff's not working, so just know that if there are any problems... Oh, one thing that we did definitely fix is previously if the stream disconnected, it would reconnect to the default stream, and that was really annoying. I fixed that last week. So if for some reason, like happened, what was it, Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Oh my gosh, Tuesday.
Tuesday was so much drama.
Tuesday, I did not like Tuesday. If for some reason it does go down, just wait, and we will come back to the same stream.
Yes, don't leave looking for a new stream to start.
Just hang out. The moderators will like do text sock puppets or something to entertain you. Yeah, virtual sock puppets, you know, and the baby shark.
Baby shark!
So, I think that's all from the tech news updates. I'm going to go back to Lisa, and I will just continue to... Can I show them my control station?
If you are able. Do you have a separate camera?
Let me see if this thing charged a little bit. I'm going to switch back to you, first of all. So that, hey, look, it's you.
Hey, look, it's me. So what I'm doing here, a lot of you have seen me work with watercolor lately. I'm really, really into watercolor these days. Even though it's technically not my favorite medium, I am struggling a little bit with watercolor because I tend to be too controlling with my coloring, and I'm using watercolor to battle that affliction because watercolor really allows you to let go of the detail obsession and just let the paint flow where it wants to. But the kind of paint that I'm working with, it's the chalky kind, so it's kind of a perfect balance for someone like me who doesn't really do classic watercolor, but also enjoys having the detail. So it's like the perfect middle ground for that. And also it establishes the backgrounds and the underpainting rather quickly, so that I'm able to color in this underpainting of blue really fast and then allow it to dry while working on other details. And then we can come back and add more star effects with pencils and gel pens. There will be gel pen work here today. So the colors that I'm using, they don't have names the way that pencil colors do. They're just different blocks of color. You can see them here. So I'm just using all of the blues that are available here and a little bit of purple. And I'm playing it by ear. I'm using my original coloring as a reference to see where the dark and the light has to go. But that's about it. Because it's blue, it's a slightly different game here, but I do want the eyebrows to be lighter and I want the muzzle to be lighter.
Will you press that solo mobile button?
Let's see. It worked.
Does it work?
Yes, they can see the outside.
This is the outside. This is where we had the intruder.
He was like a German Shepherd, right?
Yeah, he was a German Shepherd. This is where we live.
Hello. This is the studio.
This is the studio. And for those of you who haven't been following our whole reconstruction project, we actually just had this and a bunch of other stuff built onto the house so that we can use it as a studio, and then we had to stop construction because of COVID. So it's completely unfinished. Well, it's not completely unfinished.
Well, it doesn't have outlets.
It's just unfinished. It doesn't have outlets. It's just raw drywall. It doesn't have a floor. It's just the baseboard.
Minor details.
But we got it to a place where we could use it for what we do.
It is very warm, though. That's the best part.
Yeah, I made sure that it was like super, super insulated. So if I come around here, I will show you an over-the-shoulder shot from Lisa.
Ooh, fancy,
doing what
fancy.
she does.
Oh, notice the incline of my board, you guys. This is what I always talk about, that my board isn't flat and it isn't vertical. It's at this 33 degree incline. So I definitely recommend that for coloring.
This is a 32 key stream deck, which I've programmed for the show. And it feeds into, so these are the buttons that Lisa refers to.
This is the spider button.
That's the spider button. So I've built a whole back end for this so that when she presses buttons, it controls the streaming software. This is the laptop that I'm using I will be using in the chat and stuff momentarily. It has a second display as an iPad. That's where I have the Discord server that we and the admins hang out in. So when they tell me that things are broken. This is our 8-channel mixer and the 4-port Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro, which I actually don't like because I only get to use one of its inputs for complex reasons I'm not going to bore you with. But anyway, it's there. I'll be returning it, and we are bringing in a 4-port simultaneous HDMI input box that'll allow me to run multiple cameras at the same time. This thing I can only run one output. I can have 4 inputs, but one output, and I don't do my switching here. I do all of my switching here. This is it's currently my desktop computer. It's my laptop that normally sits on my desk, and this is where I do the actual work. You can see the audio meter bouncing there. This is running Mimo Live, and because of the processing power that Mimo requires, this is the external GPU that helps deliver all of the mathematical computations for stuff. This is running a huge video card and is plugged into the laptop and then runs out from there. So when I say that I'm sitting at a control center doing stuff, like
he is.
That's my workstation. Lisa's workstation
is my drawing board.
Is her drawing board. My workstation is all of this. And so this is where I sit and do everything that's necessary to actually produce the stream so that all of you can have
an amazing experience.
So with that, Lisa's going to press the button again.
And return to the screen. Ta-da! Do you appreciate how I didn't just press the spider button?
Well, yeah, because the spiders would have crawled on nothing.
Oh.
What fun is that? What fun is it when spiders crawl on things that aren't your husband? It's much more fun to watch him scream. Squeal. The spider button is funny. The thing is, I programmed the spider button.
Yeah.
She just didn't tell me. She's like, can you make it so when I press this video button, like the video number 2 pops up? And I'm like, yeah, sure.
That was the sadistic part. I actually called it surprise. And I'm like, just program this one so that it's an overlay. And when I say press it, you press it on the show. Okay. And then he pressed it on the show on Tuesday, and spiders came descending down upon him. So because today's an animal show, I have some other fun buttons that I had in program. We'll see if we can make them work later today.
We didn't run them once before the show.
Let's see if we can do them.
Look at him.
We have some fun creatures for you today.
Yeah.
Random animals. So I'll be randomly pressing buttons and we'll see what appears on the screen. So who is with us? Are there even people here? Are we talking to ourselves?
We're talking to ourselves.
Again.
Give me just a second to pop up the chat on this window over here.
All right. So I'm not going to color all of the fur. I'm going to do just the face and the part of the chest around the gemstone so that we can do the most fun part. And if we have more time towards the end of the show, then we'll continue with the fur. But I think this area of interest is where we will stay for the most detail. And of course, if you guys saw the tutorial, the tail was a little bit complicated and took quite a bit of time because of all these grass blades around it. So we probably won't get to the tail today. But if you want to see how I did the tail with orange, you can check out the tutorial, which of course is just up on my channel. And I think it's linked in the video description as well. I tend to be really good about linking stuff in my video description.
You are very good.
Because I'm a what? A good YouTuber. Only good YouTubers do that.
Yes. Okay. All right, I am in the chat now. Let me scroll back and we will start doing shout outs. I got Isolina here.
Yay! Hello.
Evelyn.
Hello.
Helen. The Adult Art Wagon by Michelle Collar.
Michelle, welcome.
We've got Mel.
Hey.
Michelle Scott.
Yay.
Sam joining us over dial-up or something in the middle of nowhere. Sam asks if we've built a tower yet. No, it's too late.
But we're getting close. We're getting close.
in the last episode of Adrian Wants a Tower, I told you that there's this company that I know I can get service from who just can't really understand that I really want to pay for a tower.
Adrian Wants a Tower.
They're like, yeah, but you need a tower. I'm like, I know, I want to buy a tower. They're like, no, but you need a tower. And I'm like, are you in?
That's what I'm telling you.
Money, like I want a tower. It's really expensive. Anyway, I have a friend of mine.
He's not kidding.
I'm not kidding. I'm looking at it as an investment, and even though it's expensive, it's just part of the property. I'm allowed to do whatever raises the value of the property. One could argue that putting a tower in the middle of it might not, but it depends on,
on who the following buyer will be.
Anyway, I have a friend of mine that is currently out of work because of COVID, and I asked him if he would help me, and I basically hired him as a contractor, and his job is to harass the tower people. I'm like, you're gonna call them. You're gonna call them every day, and you're gonna continue to call them. And he called them the other day, and they were like, yeah, okay, we'll come out on Tuesday, but we've got a lot of other opportunities lined up, so
Totally not.
maybe we won't. And he told me that. And I'm like, it doesn't work like that. If you have lots of opportunities lined up, then you have a calendar and you say, yes, the earliest slot where we can fit you is in a month.
Yeah.
You don't say, yeah, we're gonna come out on Tuesday and you can't. Like, there's nothing going on. Nothing.
They just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, so I told him once he solves the tower issue, and his idea was actually something I've thought of, which is why don't you build a tower and then find people to give you service? And I said, what if I build a tower and I can't get service from anyone?
Then it's a very
Then it's
expensive,
a really big thing that I can like fly a flag from
flag
or something
tower,
like that.
exactly.
I was off the screen there. I'll do flag from here. Fly a flag from. Yeah. So, so that saga is ongoing. But that's the next step in solving the internet issues. I've pretty much maxed out everything that I can do. The firewall has a priority rule that goes into effect whenever we're doing streaming that takes any traffic from the streaming box and immediately sends it out first. It doesn't matter what else is going on in the house, that traffic goes out first. It goes out the better of our two internet connections. And this prevents things like if one of the Macs is like, I'm gonna go download an update.
which they do.
They do. We have iPads and Macs and iMacs and iPhones, and all of them are like, the internet's for free. They're like that. That's how.
They're
if you
like
ever
that.
wonder what your Apple product sounds like
It
when
sounds
you're away
like
from the
that.
house, they run around the house going. So the firewall will fix that. So I'm like, I can continue to do tuning on my side, but I don't control what happens when the packets leave my house. So that's the next thing that I am going to conquer. And if any of you know me at all, I will not stop until I have this problem solved.
Again, not kidding.
No. There's a company called Ubiquity that makes these antennas called air fiber antennas. I think I talked about them before. I can get 450 megabits per second line of sight over 120 kilometers, 80 kilometers, something really far. And they're about $2,000 for a pair of them. So worst case scenario, I just need to find somebody on the other side that I can drop a fiber connection into their house and be like, I'm gonna put this antenna up there. I'm gonna pay for your internet. I'm going to,
Right, you'd think that people would go for it.
I'm gonna put a box here that puts your traffic second to my traffic, but that's the price of free. And you don't touch any of this stuff, and then you get free internet. People somebody's gonna be like, okay, super. Anyway, so I'm gonna fix it. And once
I will fix it.
Once I control everything out to a fast pop, that's tech term for point of presence.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, once I control to a pop that has fast outbound, what I'm dealing with in tech terms is called the last mile. It can be super, super fast to a mile away from here. I'm gonna switch us to the big screen.
Oh my God.
But split both. I wanted to split both. Oh no, what happened?
Do we not have that?
Ah, there we are. So I can get super fast to, I can get super fast to a tower that's a mile away from here, and it doesn't do any good if it's super slow for that last mile. Most of my problems are within the last mile.
The 5 of my problems
Some of
are
the
with
problems are with the fact that ISPs in Chile kind of don't really know what they're doing. I know more than them, but I can't talk to anybody who actually knows anything because I call up and I get somebody in a call center who's like, nobody in Chile knows what they're talking about, so therefore you don't know either.
Also very true.
I'm going to fix this. Sam is wondering, I stopped doing hellos and I like went off on a side thing.
Yes, you just totally hijacked my show with technology.
Okay.
Okay, no more coffee for tech support.
Sam is wondering how much internet costs us. At the moment, we have...
Don't forget that we still have to do giveaways and hellos and all that stuff.
No.
We're not running a tech show. We have a lot to cover, and we didn't get into any of it yet. So let's do the tech stuff really, really fast.
Did the rest of you understand what that message was?
Because I am now very, very, very behind schedule. So tech, cost of internet, and then back to our program.
Not as expensive as you might think, but not as cheap as it is in the United States. The end.
Good, excellent. That's the pace that I like. Who else is with us? How many people? We may be up for a giveaway.
I just so totally got shut down.
Because we're on schedule. We can't run late today.
Okay, who else is here? Lots of people. How's that?
Lots of people. Okay.
Pat, Helen, Kimmy, Sherry. I don't know if I said Mel already. Della.
You did. Della, hello.
Rain Chains for Less. Vanessa. Groon.
Groot. Hello, Groot.
MC. I'm scrolling really fast, so if I miss your name, I apologize. Just yell at me in the chat and I'll say your name again.
I'm sure that many more people are coming
is
in.
here.
Jennifer said
Jennifer Zimmermann is here.
Jennifer's here. Hello, Jennifer.
Sam, Cindy, Madam Lori.
Hey.
People who want tech support. Barbara Long.
People who want tech support.
Vittini.
We will let tech support tell us more about tech support, but
Nope.
after we
No,
get
that's
through
it. You're
with
done.
some
You're
of the
done. You're cut
stuff.
off. I have nothing else to say to you.
No.
Jasmine is here. Coloring Park.
Nothing else to say to you.
Nightbot.
Nightbot.
Mine is here.
Nightbot will be doing some work
Modern
today
Coloring.
for us.
Madam Lori, Mona, and we're at the bottom of the chat. Okay, I'm going to go set up this
Okay.
Nightbot thing so that we can actually do a giveaway.
Yay! And
So
how
I
many?
remember how to log into Nightbot.
How many people are watching?
I can't count. You know that. I have calculators to do that for me.
That is true. Your little minions.
Calculators.
Count you later.
We have 41 people here.
Ooh, 41 people. You know what
Thank you, admin.
What that actually means? 41 people
Oh, that's...
means that we have 2 giveaways coming.
What the hell?
Oh, wait. Nightbot problems?
Nightbot no longer allows you to log in with YouTube?
What?
43 now.
What kind of nonsense is that?
Doesn't make any sense.
Does that mean we have to herd cats?
I don't know.
Ooh, we haven't done cat herding in a while. That's so archaic.
I mean, he's in the chat, so he clearly still works with YouTube, but why? That makes no sense that they would disable logging with YouTube. I'm going to go tech this.
Okay, you take this, and I'll tell them more about what's happening here. So, for the fox, I am going with the gold on the necklace, as I did in the previous one, but I'm also going to stay with my complementary colors scheme, like I explained to you in the tutorial. So on the color wheel, any color opposite of itself is its complementary color. So with purples and blues, your complementary colors are orange and yellow. So that's the color scheme that I'm sticking to. The complementary colors are called complementary because they complement each other perfectly. So the blues look a little bit more vibrant and the oranges look a little bit more vibrant. Did you fix it?
I fixed it.
I will fix it.
This is one of those things about the internet that just bugs me. They're like, oh yeah, if you're using Firefox, you can go to hell, but if you use Chrome, YouTube works, because that's
never
YouTube's
understood
browser.
that. That's
Yeah.
not cool.
You know what we need? I've been saying for years, we need an internet A-team. Do you remember the
Yes.
A-team from the 80s? Hijack. Do you remember the A-team, right? Dun, 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 a beautiful, all of that? What if, so like they help people. You could be like, oh, I'm being charged too much money by my landlord. And they would like, Hannibal would come in and they'd like blow stuff up and nobody ever died. It was great. We need that for the internet. We
Yes,
need to be
we
like,
do.
there's bad things happening on the internet and B.A. Baracus is like, I pity the fool. And then like suddenly things are better and nobody gets hurt.
I like that story.
This is my dream.
That should be. That is actually his dream. All right, so for the giveaways, I will explain what they are before we start getting into them. People have to be chatting to be accepted into the giveaway, right?
Yes.
They need to be.
Yeah, we can set. You have to be chatting. You have to have been chatting. Oh, are you going to make the gem into a sunstone?
I am not. I am going to make the gem. Actually, yes, I might make the gem into a sunstone.
Woohoo!
Yes, I might. We will see. We will see. Continue is a joke. How they need to be chatting to be part
You need to
of
be chatting. So you need to have chatted within some previous interval of time. I will at least decide what that is. 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. You need to have... You don't want to use a keyword?
It can be 10 minutes. Yes, we will have keywords.
So keywords different from chatting?
Yes, keywords will be, I will announce an animal, and you will have to type in the name that I announce of the animal in the chat, and that will qualify you for the giveaway. The giveaway prizes today.
Oh, I'm still on the screen.
Yes.
I just made a face at the camera that you didn't see.
Don't you love buttons? You need to rename your button to hijack. Hijack.
Hijack.
Hijack.
Steal the light.
Steal the light.
Okay. So it's not you need to have chatted. There's several ways we can do the giveaway.
Okay.
We're gonna do keywords.
I confused you guys.
Yeah. Well, okay, no.
Yes, tell them about keywords. That's how we'll be doing it.
I'm totally on the spot. I'm camera shy.
You're totally not camera shy.
We will say a keyword, and you just have to say the keyword if you want to participate in the giveaway, and that's it. And you can say it at any point. Hooray! We will change the keyword between giveaways, just to reset it, and that's it. Yeah, and you can't win twice.
Okay. What we are giving away today are coloring pages of mine.
Yay!
The winner will get to pick any 3 pages that are animal pages from any one of my books.
Yay!
Of course. Of course, everyone already knows all of my books. If you don't have to decide the pages today. You can go to my website and look at all the flip-throughs of all my books and pick any 3 pages that you wish to have, as long as they're animal pages. Not just to have an animal on the page, but have the animal as the main character on the page. So I have 2 books that are entirely dedicated to animals. Those are the Fantastic Familiars books. So those are easy ones to choose from, but animals appear in some of my other books as well, so you may wish to flip through all of them. If you already own all of my pages, please don't participate in the giveaway. Also, these are PDFs. Consider that when you apply for the giveaway as well. They will be digital images.
Like it's a job?
Like it's a job. Apply for the giveaway.
When you submit your application, please include 3 character references, a banking reference, and your entire work history.
Never mind. The first word, and we're doing giveaways every 20 new viewers, so we actually have 2 giveaways coming up already.
What? You didn't tell me these rules?
I
She's like, I'm gonna do a giveaway, just like make it happen.
I didn't tell you the rules. They were kind of last minute. The first word is zebra.
Oh wait, but don't say it yet, because I haven't put it in yet. You have to tell me the word first.
Oh, I'm sorry. The first word is zebra.
Oh, okay, hang on a second.
I'm sorry.
Hang on. Okay, now you can start saying the word zebra. And it doesn't matter if you say it multiple times. Nightbot will not punish you.
Nor will it increase your chances.
Nor will it increase your chance, yeah. So, don't be a person who says things multiple times.
Don't be a zebra hog.
Don't be a zebra.
Don't be a zebra.
Don't be a zebra. I don't know why you have to say it like that.
I don't have any zebras, but I have some other animals here that I can send across the screen. Let's see if I can do it.
Don't be a dolphin. All right, people are zebraing up the chat.
Okay, so we'll
nice.
let them run the zebras.
Okay. So we got Kimmy actually used it in a complete sentence. I think zebras are cute.
That's cool.
That's interesting. She says actually, I think zebra are cute. Is zebra like moose?
Moose?
Is it singular and plural, or is it actually zebras, or is it?
I think she said zebras so that she would qualify for the giveaway.
Or is it zebrae?
Zebra.
And
I like zebra.
We've got people actually using zebra emoticons for emoji. I guess you have to say emoji now. The kids don't say emoticons anymore.
Oh, we're so old.
I'm older than you. I remember when there was no.
Not emotionally.
That's true. Yeah, my EQ is like 4.
No, I'd say 8.
Whatever.
Etc.
All right, so we're gonna let you say zebra for another 2 minutes.
Yes, have fun with that.
And
then. And when we have winners, I will connect with the winners after the show.
Bruce is watching on his Xbox?
Ooh.
Hardcore!
Yeah.
Rock on! That's some seriousness. I appreciate that.
Totally awesome.
Now, after you finish watching the stream, let us know what game you're going to play, huh?
Yeah.
'Cause we know that's... You're probably actually waiting for an update to download.
Right.
Come on, be honest. You sat down to play
know,
like Call of Duty 12 or whatever, and it's like downloading a 12 gigabyte update, 4 hours remaining. You're like, well, what's on YouTube?
So true. Like you spend all day waiting to play something, and finally you get the free time to do it, and you sit down with your popcorn and your pajamas, and it's like 7-hour update.
Yeah, especially.
Please wait.
Lisa and I like to play games on Friday night. That's part of our the week is done. There's no work going on, so we'll play Borderlands 3, or sometimes she just likes to draw while she watches me play something like Last of Us 2. And I have to remember to check on Friday morning because often there's an update that will take decades to download.
Decades, for sure.
Decades.
Oh, man. Okay, I was going to ask them a question, but they're doing zebras right now. So
Oh, Sam!
What did Sam do? What did she do?
Why don't zebras like coloring books?
Why?
Because they have to stay between the lions. All right.
That's awesome.
All right, I think we've zebraed it up. We got 20
I
people
love
who
it.
have said zebra. It's interesting. Oh, I'm wondering why there's some people who haven't, and I bet there are people who already own
Who
all
already
of your
own?
stuff.
Yeah, I know that Evelyn has all the pages. Isolina has all the pages. A bunch of my patrons have all the pages.
All right. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Here we go. Kimmy K! Kimmy K has won the giveaway. Now, what I want to know...
Congratulations.
What I want to know is, what was the time difference between when we said Kimmy K and when Nightbot said it in the chat?
Yeah.
Was it more or less the same time? Because if so, I'm so totally getting nachos.
Yes, that's the deal.
All right, Kimmy
Congratulations,
K.
Kimmy.
What does Kimmy need to do?
Kimmy, you need to reach out to me on Facebook Messenger after the show, and we shall talk about which pages you want. Very simple, very, very simple.
That seems pretty simple.
Yeah.
And we said it at the same time. That's
We
awesome.
did?
Nachos. I can't have ice cream anymore because I realized that
Because it gets him high.
it does. Well, it's not just like that's not such a bad thing. But I realized that if I have like a bowl of ice cream after dinner, I'm kind of just broken for several days afterward. So it's only after
Like not very productive?
Yeah, like it's harder for me to get up in the morning. My decision-making resourcefulness is definitely subpar. Like my motivation, like I'd rather just kind of not do things. So I just stopped eating ice cream because I was like, I want to get up earlier because I started this new live stream this week. So it was actually last week I stopped eating ice cream. And after like 3 days, I was like, bam, I get out of bed. I'm like, whoa, I conquered the day. I've got energy all day long. I like get stuff done. And I'm one of those people who derives value from action. So the more stuff that I can do in a day, the better I feel about myself and the easier it is for me to continue that into the next day. Inertia and momentum and all of those things. So as much as I love ice cream, I recognize that there's a pretty serious penalty, I think it's better than cost. It's a pretty significant penalty to my productivity.
So this happens every few months, actually. This has been happening every few months since I've known him.
But like all addictions, you figure it out better each time.
It comes in waves. Yes, that is true.
This might be the one.
So we'll go on this no ice cream.
Usually the no ice cream thing is because I'm like, I don't really like what it's doing to my midsection here.
Yes.
Today my midsection looks good.
Yes, it does. You're very flat. Very flat.
Yeah, I'm doing crunches.
Do you have the magical power to zoom me in a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah? Zoom me in on the gemstone and we'll do some gemstone
Zoomy
work.
zoom, zoom, zoomy zoom.
Zoomy, 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 zoom.
Zoomy zoom, zoom, zoomy zoom.
Just a little bit, don't go crazy. That's good.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's perfect. All right, while this paint dries, I'll do some work on the gemstones with pencils. And I brought you something.
Sorry. No, sorry, I was saying no to the chat.
Oh,
I was
okay.
saying no to Madame Lori saying something. No, the nachos are not going to get me. Whoa, I'm over there. The nachos are not going to get me because it's the sugar.
It's the sugar, yeah.
Unless
It's
she,
not just junk
sprinkles,
food in
like,
general.
like powdered nachos or something. It's not what it sounds like.
Yes, it's not junk food in general. It's just sugar, and specifically ice cream. Okay, so I brought you some gemstones for reference that are larger and are good for close-up studies. I did this with my patrons a few months ago. So I think I'm going to go for this kind of color, the citrine, maybe. It's a deep, deep orange color. And I think my two options here were blue or orange for my color scheme. Purple would also look nice here, but I think I'm going to go for this bright orange kind of a gemstone. So I'm going to keep this here for my reference on the side, and we'll do this with pencils. For my pencils, some of you will not like this, but for my pencils, I selected a completely random bundle of pencils from different brands to drive home the point that brands don't matter. Once again, you know that I'm really, really, really into Black Widows right now, and I've been into Prismacolor for a while, but I have a bunch of other brands in here too. I don't pick colors based on brands. I don't pick pencils based on brands. I pick them based on color. So I look through my whole collection of what I have, and I look at the saturation and the actual color that will be interesting for this particular piece, and that's what I take. Like, I don't match palettes. I don't make lists of colors. I just go by what feels right. And I really want you guys to try that technique out, to just go with what you have, considering that the effect is more important than the pencils that you're using. For instance, here, I want a really deep, bright orange, but not the entire stone is going to be orange. I'm going to have a lot of white, I'm going to have some yellow, and I'm actually going to have some purple for the darker parts. So those are the colors that I selected, and I also brought in some pinks and yellows just in case I may wish to use them. So I will pin my reference picture here on the side where you guys can't see it because I'm zoomed in so much, but it's okay because you will see the actual stone being made. And I will start with, I have this beautiful color here called Pumpkin from the Black Widow set. Pumpkin.
Pumpkin. Color is that pumpkin.
Pumpkin. And how many people are watching right now?
Well, we still have a second giveaway. We're currently at, well, at least as of the last time I reloaded this page, we were at 41.
Okay.
But let's see if we're still at 41.
Depending
on which page you look at on YouTube, it gives you different numbers.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a little odd. Okay. So this orange is really nice, but any other kind of bright orange will work. The Prismacolor set has a bunch of different oranges. The Faber-Castells have some beautiful oranges. Just anything that's a really dark, deep orange, you do not need to match this color. And of course, we talked about how colors get distorted in presentation. Like whatever I'm seeing here in real life, it translates differently on camera, it translates differently through your screen. So whatever you're matching, you're not actually matching my color. You're matching whatever you're seeing on the screen based on your screen settings, your device settings, the actual lighting that you have in your room, the lighting that I have in my studio, the way that my camera is recording it. So it's not even the true color. I mean, I try to match the camera setting to as true to life as possible, but there's still all this distortion in the technology telephone game that's happening that you can't possibly match the color. And even if you're picking, like, obviously the first response to that is, but if I pick the actual pencils, then I will match the color. You will be surprised at how untrue that is, especially when you're working with as many layers as I am. Because you can't, even if you pick the right colors, the way that you apply pressure to your page, the kind of paper that you're using, the amount of layers that you're using versus the amount of layers that I'm using, the sequence of layers, all these little things add up to creating your own personal effect. So I would rather you guys pay more attention to the choices that I'm making, like how I'm spacing out the orange facets on this gemstone. I'm not just coloring everything in orange. I'm trying to make this kind of a checkerboard design here with the face next to the orange I'm leaving blank, but not for all of them. I want some element of randomness here. I want this side of the gemstone to be a little bit darker and this side to be a little bit lighter, because my light source, my light is very diffused here, very soft, but it's still coming a little bit from above and from the right. So I want my main white reflection to be in this part of the gemstone. So that means that the opposite side will be a little bit darker, a little bit more saturated. And I'm also going over my watercolor to add more of this orange to the actual gold part of this necklace and this pendant. All right. Another giveaway?
Yeah, but before, Michelle wants to know, do you find that the white leaves marks?
The white of what?
I don't know. She just says, do you find that the white leaves marks?
I think she means the white of the watercolor. Yes, it does. The white of this particular watercolor, I can paint over my other colors, and I rather like it. You can see that I've achieved this nice little fuzzy effect on the cheeks and also on the eyebrows.
She says paper.
By doing that. Paper, please explain the question better. I don't understand what you mean. Just the white leaf marks.
So, Michelle, if you can give us more detail, we'll try to answer that.
Yeah.
Let's do another giveaway.
Yeah, let's do another giveaway. Would you like me to name another animal?
This time you have to
I have to write it down.
Yeah.
Okay, I will
In fact, write down
the
2
animal.
animals.
Okay.
Not there, over here.
Over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not on the screen. Good. Lisa will write down a secret note. And then,
Okay. And here.
Nice. Okay, let me set up our next giveaway.
Our next giveaway. And this one, the next colors that I'm going for is watermelon. Why did I pick this color? Because it looks cool to me. It's this really, really bright pinkish red color, again from the Black Widow set, that I think will enhance my orange, so I'm gonna go for that.
All right, the time is for us 10:51. It is something 51 for you, wherever you are. I'm gonna steal that here. The next animal for the next giveaway here on the coloring thing with Lisa.
The coloring thing.
Whatever it is, I don't know what we're doing. I just do the tech thing with Adrian. Mouse. Yes.
Mouse.
So you've got, I don't know, whatever, 2 minutes to say mouse in the channel. You've got until I decide that enough time has passed. So say mouse. And
Okay, time's up.
You will be enrolled in the next giveaway. All right, people are mousing up the chat.
Yay, mouse.
What, Michelle, it's 2:51 in the morning? Where are
Whoa. New Zealand, no?
you? Wow, thank you so much for joining at 3 in the morning. That's crazy.
I think New Zealand.
So Michelle
Yes,
means,
very cool, thank you.
Michelle means, does the white paper show through when using the...
When using the...
One of the admins relayed the message to me, but she used an abbreviation, and I don't know what it means.
Oh, read it the way that it's written.
Using the... thank you.
What? I can't wait to find out. What is going on?
Does the white paper show through when using the Black Widows?
It depends on how much pigment you apply. If you don't apply enough pigment, then you will have the white show through. If you use more pigment, then obviously you can cover the page completely. I would just recommend that you don't rub the pigments into the page.
I'm not going to say it today.
Don't apply a lot of pressure to achieve stronger pigment. Instead, apply more layers with very, very gentle pressure, just layer after layer after layer, and then you can cover it completely. And that's true for any pencil brand. Like you can get to the point where none of the white paper shows through at all if you apply enough layers. And I find that with Black Widows, that's pretty easy because they're very, for me, they're very soft and gentle pencils. They're wax pencils, but that also means that they need to be warm. Some people, it's interesting getting feedback on Black Widows. There are people, like 90% of Black Widow users are absolutely raving about them, but then you have the 10% of people who are just confused by them, and they're like, well, I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong. Why are they so hard? Why are they so scratchy? I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I have never had that experience with Black Widows, them being hard and scratchy. So what I found out in my investigations, speaking with the colorists who are making these false claims about Black Widows, who are reporting these experiences that are less than pleasant, is that most of the time the problem is that they're using paper that's way too smooth and way too thin. And also they're applying way too much pressure. So if your paper doesn't have enough tooth, and if you're just applying a lot of pressure right away to achieve that strong pigment, and also if it's actually cold in your room, then yes, you will have that experience of a really, really scratchy, hard pencil. Do we have a winner?
I will roll the winner. We have lots of people who have enrolled, including people who are using complete sentences, which I think that's really cool.
That's a really cool idea.
That's really cool. So we've
Yeah.
got, I saw the tiniest brown mouse in Botswana.
Nice.
There's a mouse in the house.
Nice.
And Iselina says, the birthday pencils are easier because I'm not putting too much pressure.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that.
All right, we are going to roll the giveaway.
Yeah, let's do it.
Patty Hine.
Yay! Congratulations, Patty. Congratulations.
Alligator Man says, congratulations, Patty.
Congratulations. Wonderful. Please send me a message on Facebook and we'll connect after the show. Actually, that's not true. I'm going to be having nachos after the show and then I'll be at Jennifer's show. So later today. Realistically, it will be later today by the end of the day that I will get back to my computer and talk to all of you lovely people about your winnings. In the meantime, we are about halfway through the show, right?
Yeah, we're just under halfway through the show.
We're halfway through
Which
the
means
show.
there's an hour left for me to talk about technology.
No, that means, no. That means, no. Okay, you may tell them one more thing about technology.
No.
No. Now, even if I will ask, he will not answer.
I can't do technology on the spot.
No?
No, we got a new light.
Yeah, we should tell
They
them about
probably saw
that.
that. The end.
Oh, probably. Okay, the middle of the show means that we can take a 2-minute intermission, during which I will roll a clip that many of you probably already saw. And if you did, you can either enjoy it again or go grab a coffee or scratch your dogs. And if you have not seen this yet, enjoy the show. And that will be clip number...
Hello.
Hey, you.
Hi, Lisa.
Hey, can you believe this weather? It's been weeks since I left the house.
I know. I'm just so bored. This rain will never, ever end. And the social distancing, all I've been doing is just eating nonstop. This is not good for this situation.
Tell me about it. I've been eating so much of this stuff. I actually call it food. What you up to today anyway?
Well, I was thinking about coloring, and I pulled out this page, Noble Fox. I drew it for my Bella Futura book a couple of years ago, and I was thinking of coloring it, but I just cannot find the mojo to do it, you know?
I hear you. I have one page left from my entire collection. And I was thinking of coloring it, and I just can't bring myself to do it. I colored everything else of my own work.
Oh, I know. I even thought of coloring somebody else's pages. Would you ever consider doing that? Well, don't be a party pooper. I never color other artists' pages either.
Well, it's not like I don't like the art or anything. It's just, you know.
I know. Coloring your own lines just makes so much more sense. I mean, it's easier that way. We drew it. We know it.
Whoa.
What was that?
Hey, that looks like your page.
Is that Kevin?
The one and only. I drew him for the Fantastic Familiars book a year ago? 2 years ago?
I love peacocks.
Try living with one. What a butthead. Have fun coloring him, though. Well, I guess we're doing not our own work after all.
I guess.
All right, I'll get started right away. Oh, poodle poop. My white gel pen expired.
Here. You can have one of mine.
Oh, thanks. I guess we're in it now.
Let's do this.
Yeah. And that was the lovely Jennifer Zimmermann, whose show is coming up after mine. Like I said in the beginning, we'll take a 1 hour break after the show ends, and then we'll all regroup on Jennifer's channel. That's Modern Coloring, and I have a picture for it, but I don't remember which one it is.
Oh, hang on. You're supposed to make a cheat sheet.
Yeah.
Which picture? Hers?
Oh, I pressed the button. I don't know if I was supposed to. I pressed this. What did I do?
You're okay.
Okay.
You just started the news.
Oh my God.
I don't know what you did.
I just totally scared myself.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
So you.
I think it's picture 3.
It's picture 3.
Yeah.
Okay. I started putting together a checklist for us. I'm going to make sure that
Okay.
Lisa makes cheat sheet.
I almost had a heart attack. I thought I pressed the stop show button.
No, that's the one over here that says end show.
End show.
End show. I'll make that one in red.
Like, I have a magic trick to show you. Poof! I'm gonna make the show disappear. That was awful.
And actually, it would have been okay because I don't have the stream set to auto stop, which is part of how if
And
we
also-
get disconnected, we stay
we stay on the
connected.
same.
That doesn't make any sense, but it works in YouTube land.
Yes. Wow, I'm like properly overheated now. That was oh my God, more traumatic than I broke the show. This is why I have tech support.
Yeah, so I can worry about these things. Hey, so Bernie says thank you very much for that explanation. They were having issues with Scratchy.
Ah, wonderful. I'm so glad that was helpful. Yes, it took a little bit of digging and interviewing people who are having that problem because I genuinely was baffled by it. I'm like, I have never, ever had that experience. And I narrowed it down to quality of paper, amount of pressure, and the temperature in the room.
Nice. And Sam wants to know how you made that video.
How we made that video, actually, that was quite interesting. It was.
Well, you put me on the screen, woman.
You helped.
Well, I don't.
You
no,
helped. I had my lovely camera operator and lighting director.
Director of photography, director, producer. I write the screenplay. Actually, I didn't write the screenplay. You guys wrote the screenplay.
Jennifer and I wrote the screenplay, and Jennifer and I did a Pacino De Niro recording of our conversation separately, which was very difficult. But we managed to stitch it together as if we're actually having a conversation. But they were our parts were recorded 1 week apart. Jennifer recorded her part, and then I wrote the script on paper. Then had to have tech support read me the lines while I talked back to it. And then it was 2 days of editing for me, and editing magic. And ta-da! It was quite an experience. We had a lot of fun.
There's something that there's something that every single course that we started taking on video production and everything related to how to actually make content when we first started getting into this as a hobby said that it's going to ruin movies. Like, it's going to ruin everything because it's like going to a magic show but understanding
how the magic
works. Like, yeah, it's not neat to watch them saw that woman in half when you know that she's not being sawn in half. You know exactly how. It's the suspension of disbelief that makes all of the things that we enjoy possible. What they also said, and all of these things turned out to be true. We now watch films, and we're like, oh, we totally know that.
We're completely ruined.
Yeah, like there's those two people walking across that runway with all of those jets there. Those jets aren't there. The back scene isn't there. You can look on YouTube for things like how they did certain scenes in Sicario or in Blade Runner, where they actually show you the finished scene, and then they cut to the original. It's called a plate. They cut to the original plate, which shows you all of the green screen stuff in the background and how they replaced it with fake footage from,
there's so little
from things
real
like Blender
stuff.
and stuff like that. So on the one hand, we see that now we watch movies and we're like, we know how they did that. But at the same time, it took us 20 minutes to get through the first minute of The Ring last night.
Yes.
Because we kept pausing and being like, how did they, in this scene, generate that feeling of suspense?
And then we talk about
when
it.
there was nothing except some teenage girl who opened the refrigerator door and closed the refrigerator door.
And we're like, why is that so scary?
Why is it so scary? And it's the use or the zoom in on the clock.
Right.
There's a scene where they talk about she watched the film at 10 o'clock 7 days ago, and they like show this alarm clock sitting on the side of the nightstand, and they like zoom in on it, and it's so scary.
And it's
we
so
paused
scary.
it, we played it back. It was nothing but a zoom and a sound effect.
Yeah, but in a totally different movie, the same clock would have been funny.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of lighting, music, and the speed of camera movement.
So we use those things, and it's great for us to hear that the edits that we do have an effect on you, where it looks like the call is happening at the same time, or where there's an element of realism, because it's really difficult, especially with just the two of us, to film a lot of this stuff, especially if we both have to be in it.
Yes, and we did another video together for his show, for his program, where it was both of us acting in it, and that was his script and his directing. And that was also very difficult because I had scenes where I had to appear, but I also had to be behind the camera at the same time.
Right.
So with two people, it's definitely complicated, but fun and totally doable. Totally doable. So,
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You go ahead, because you're going to say something important.
I just wanted to say... I'm going to alligator you again. No spiders today, alligators.
Somebody already asked for spiders, and I said no.
That button was removed. for the show.
Madam Laurie's got to go?
She might have to be catching babies today. Yeah. It's okay. She always watches the reruns. She's a good watcher. Bye. I wanted to say that I added purple here.
Bye, Aspie.
I added deep purple here to the bottom part of the stone, even though my stone deep purple. Even though my stone is mostly orange, there's actually very little orange visible in it. Mostly it's purple, the transition from purple to orange, and a little bit of yellow and white. And we'll add some glitter now with my white gel pen and a Q-tip. All right, back to you.
I was going to say that when we do have to film stuff, so I try to buy equipment that allows us to do things that have camera motion and stuff that normally would be done by a person. So we have a slider with a pan tilt head that is programmable, so you can have it repeat the exact same camera movement over and over, which allows us to like move through a scene and hopefully, if we get the timing wrong, when we watch it again, then we just do it again and again and again, and it's got the same stuff. Or we can make the same motion, but Lisa does one part and I do another part, and then we can actually cut those together because the background movement is the same and the lighting is the same.
That's a really fun part. I like that one.
I have gimbals. Most of our cameras can be operated remotely. So when we were filming the thing the other day for my show, which I guess we could put a link to that.
Yeah, I really
No, we
wanna...
can't because it's not released yet. When it's
I
actually,
really want to share it with them.
It's not for my channel. It was a work-related thing, and it's actually for the Cloud Native Computing Foundation's channel. So once it's actually up there, then I can promote it. Otherwise,
Because I have been
I don't wanna
telling
steal
them
their
that there was a day where I had to be the lovely assistant.
So we can do things like, there was a scene where we didn't end up doing this, but one of the options was she had to drive in the car, and I was in the car, and then I get out of the car, and there was a camera shooting across the hood that showed me getting out of the car and walking into the house. And we could set that up with a slider. We ended up setting it up just as a static cam on a tripod, but another option would be to use the gimbal, and from inside the car, below, like in her lap, she could have the controller so that she could actually move the camera as if she was really there.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any of it easier.
Oh, what was the movie? What was the really, not a very good movie, but an amazing action sequence that we watched with the director who strapped himself to the... Extraction. So
Watch
good.
Extraction.
So good.
You want to see some amazing editing? There's a car chase scene that's 12 minutes long, and it's cut to look like it's one shot, but it's not. It's several shots. But first of all, the choreography, the fight choreography, and the director of this, it's on Netflix, I think.
And on YouTube, there's a bunch of behind-the-scenes
stuff. So the director, this is his directorial debut, but he's a stunt coordinator and a stuntman. So for a lot of the shots, he was strapped to the hood of a car with the camera chasing cars through the streets of Mumbai.
Yeah, and particularly there are scenes where we take them for granted when we don't think about how movies are made. But once you start thinking about it, like for us, we saw a car chase scene where like from your perspective, you're watching a car chase, and then like you as a viewer enter the moving car, and now you're in the back seat, and you see the close up of the actors. You're like, how did they do that? Did they stitch that scene together? No, they actually threw the director in the moving vehicle with a camera.
Yeah, you're like chasing, and it comes up on the right rear passenger door, and the window is down, and the camera gets handed into the car. And there's somebody camouflaged as like a seat or something.
Yeah,
in there
like an actual
who,
car seat.
Takes the camera and then pans it to look out the back window, which then proceeds to get shot out.
So you feel like you were thrown into this car, and you turn around, and you're like, how did they do this?
What? I like pause and frame by frame. A 2-hour movie will take us 3 days to watch.
Yes,
we're just
because
tearing
of this
apart. How did he do that?
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
And well, for me and Jennifer, for that little skit, the most difficult part was actually not even the dialogue, because well, we both followed the script that we wrote together. But the most difficult part was matching our voices and our camera feel, because we obviously recorded this in completely different studios. By the way, before I get carried away with that story, I'm using Blue Horizon now. This is another Black Widow color. I'm using this Blue Horizon to add more fur details on this fox, and then we'll start adding the stars. So the problem is that the main difficulty with combining scenes like that is that obviously Jennifer recorded this in her home, and I recorded this in my home, and she has a different camera, she has a different sound situation, like different reverb and everything in the house, different microphones. So when you look at my footage and her footage, they're completely not compatible. So just combining the time and making the perfect time sequence, but watching the two recordings together, it's still completely mismatched and totally unwatchable. So the most time that I spent editing that video was actually tweaking the color grading on her video and making it softer and more diffuse, because her camera is so sharp and so in focus. That was which was good for me, but mine was a lot softer and done in completely different lighting, and I couldn't make mine sharper, but I could make hers softer. So I had to adjust her colors and her softness to match mine, and of course change the audio on both of us so that it's not only the same volume but the same kind of female voice softness, that it sounds like it was recorded at the same time at the same space. So very interesting. Yes.
Do wax and oil pencils need different blending mediums?
I don't use blending mediums at all. I just use the pencils themselves for blending, and I use my Q-tips.
Okay.
And that's it.
Cindy says alcohol can melt wax.
Yes, that is true.
That's freaky. Patty wants to know what... Freaky! Patty wants to know what gel pen you're using.
Oh, I am using this thing called the paint marker, and the link to that is in the video description.
Cool.
It's quite cool. It is 0.7 millimeter fine point.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I love these.
Sherry, you said that your husband just got a gimbal for you guys. Can you tell me in the chat what you got? Is it a DSLR gimbal, or is it a gimbal for the phone? Or I'm curious to know what you got and what you plan to use it for.
Sherry, is this Sherry Ramirez?
Yes.
Sherry is a YouTuber now.
Oh.
Yeah, she started a channel.
Well then, tell me what gimbal you got and what you plan to use it for.
And Sherry, I will watch your video today. I was just so busy with preparing for the stream that I just did not have the time to properly view it to give you the feedback that you seek. But it will happen this weekend.
Isolina says that she wanted to watch the Extraction, but she wasn't sure if it was not going to be good. It's actually...
Not that good of a
no.
movie.
Well, it depends. Like,
we really enjoyed it.
I thought it was excellent. If you're gonna go watch, like, it's not gonna win an Oscar.
Okay, it's not a
Actually,
drama.
It might win an Oscar because the fight choreography
It's extraordinary.
is ridiculous.
The best I've seen, actually.
You understand, when you see people fight in a movie, it's a dance where they trained and practiced the exact movements that they're going to do, and then they're executing them very, very fast. But there's stuff that they do where these two dudes are fighting, and they fall out a window onto an awning. They're in a second story. They like jump out a window onto an awning and then roll onto the ground and continue fighting. When they go out the window, the director throws the camera out the window after them. And they had the camera on a thing where it like descended. Or sometimes he would actually like jump with the camera and do rolls with them. Like,
Yeah.
then there was a behind the scenes that we watched on YouTube where they talked about one of the things they didn't realize is that you can't actually use any weapons in India when they were filming. You can't even use fake weapons. So they didn't have anything that was like blank firing or anything that had real action on the handguns, none of it. So all of the shots that you see where he's taking guns away from people and they're shooting, there's close-up stuff where he's just disarming and destroying multiple attackers whose guns are firing. They're all rubber guns.
Yeah.
They had to go back afterwards and frame by frame add all of the blast and the bullets and the gun movement. The fight choreography is ridiculous. So I think it's an excellent, excellent, excellent film from a production standpoint.
Yes.
The story's pretty basic.
The story's very basic, but not bad. Like
Not bad.
I thought it was a well-written story.
Yeah.
A very well-known story. Like we've seen stories like that happen before. But yeah, it's not a drama. You spend the entire movie in a chase because that's the point of a movie. It's supposed to keep you on the edge of your seat.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. I think it's time to add some stars to this fur. So I will use my magical pen. Did anyone catch in the tutorial that I did when I colored this fox in orange? Did you guys catch the boo-boo? When I say...
Did you just say boo-boo?
I said boo-boo.
Oh my god.
The boo-boo. When I say, and now I'm going to add stars with my white Posca pen, and then I take this pen and add the white dots. My white Posca pen ran out of ink like 2 months ago. I've been using nothing but this.
But now it's like Posca's like Kleenex or Xerox.
Exactly,
or
exactly. I'm just so used to saying Posca pen. If you have a white Posca pen, you can use it. I ran out, so I'm using these guys now, but I'm really enjoying them a lot. They take a lot longer to dry than the Posca, so be careful not to run your hand over the paper. That will smudge it. But boo-boo. I made a boo-boo. So I'm just going to start adding stars. And in the meantime, tell me about animals, you guys. Tell me who has pets. What kind of pets do you have? Does anyone have an unusual pet? Me, aside from dogs, I have a peacock. My peacock is named Kevin. Many of you know him. And in fact, it is Kevin that Jennifer will be coloring on her show that's coming up 1 hour after mine. So please tell us in the live chat what kind of pets do you have and if there's anything unusual out there. Crocodiles, gazelle, polar bears. Husbands. Platypus. What's the plural for platypus? Platypi?
No, I think they're actually
Pusses?
platypuses, but I don't think you say platypi. Hang on, I'm gonna hijack your screen for a second.
Okay.
Sherry, does it look like this?
Ah, little gimbal.
Waiting for Sherry to respond. Sherry says yes.
Oh my
'Cause now
God.
we have the chat is instantaneous.
Oh wow, we used to wait for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, okay, so...
That's pretty cool.
So this is an Osmo Pocket.
I love this thing. Actually, all of my recordings of my tutorials, the actual coloring part, is recorded with this
Recorded
camera.
with these. Yeah, these are... I see the camera's trying to autofocus.
Yes.
These are amazing. They're
Incredible.
not very expensive. And we have a control wheel on here. It doesn't come with this, but you can plug your phone into it on the side and use your phone as like an external monitor. There's a bunch of third-party attachments for it. If you want to get into doing any type of handheld vlogging or anything like that, this is an amazing stabilized... You can't see it because of... Here, maybe I'll hold it over here.
Yeah, that will work.
So the stabilization that it does, it always stays pointed in the forward direction, or there's ways you can control what it's pointing at. These are amazing.
Yes, incredible. And you guys see the quality that I get on my tutorials, the actual coloring recording. I do no color grading on that at all, like no post-production editing. It's just like the way that it records, that's how I run it in the tutorials. And it's always super crisp. The colors are spot on. Super happy with that camera.
Yeah, it's great. I carry one of those with me all of the time because it fits in your pocket. And if I'm out and there's something happening, it's just great to have that there to pull out and start filming.
Yeah, like
Or if I have an
when we recorded all the helicopters picking up water from the river
that was
for
all
the
Osmo
fire.
Pocket. The entire video that I did for the Cloud Native Computing Foundation that we'll be able to show you guys in a couple of weeks
with a lovely assistant.
Yeah, was shot all the outdoor scenes. In fact, all the indoor scenes too.
As well, yeah.
Yeah, we shot the whole thing with the Osmo Pocket. We each, in fact,
We each have one.
I bought an Osmo Pocket for me.
Oh, I forgot that that's what happened. That's
I
right.
bought it because I was like, this seems like a really cool thing. And so I had it and I showed it to Lisa, and Lisa was like, this is a really cool thing.
No, that's not how it happened at all. That's not how it happened at all. He bought it, and we were at our friend's house because our internet didn't work. So we went to our friend's house so that he could run not a stream, but a lesson.
A training?
A training. So he went into an office with a closed door so he could run a training, and he said, you figure out how this camera works. Here's an instruction manual. And by the time he came out of that room an hour later, the camera was mine.
Yeah. So I had to buy, she basically stole it from me.
Well, you offered it.
She didn't give it back. And I recognized that happy wife, happy life. So I said, you know what, sweetheart? Why don't you just use that one? That one can be yours. And I literally had to go buy another one for me. But it's great because now we both carry them around, we both have them, and they're wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, so Sherry says that hers is bigger than that. So she doesn't have an Osmo Pocket. You have the Osmo Gimbal.
But is it actually Osmo or some other brand?
Yeah, hang on. I know what she has. It's for your phone, right? Sherry, tell me in the chat. I'm guessing that what you have looks more like this. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to get into the camera here.
Okay.
Where you actually put your phone in it, and it does all of the stabilization for you. Waiting in the chat.
I am really excited that you got this device, Sherry.
These are another gimbal option. I'm going to switch this to both here. So these are another option for gimbals. So this is what I actually, when I did the little studio tour, it was with this. And this one is not from DJI. This is from Zhiyun. Yeah, okay. So Sherry says that that's the Osmo Mobile. And they're also great. They're larger, but they're great because you put your phone in. Your phone has a good camera in it, and it does all the image stabilization that allows you to do stuff while you record from your phone. I did a comparison between the Osmo Mobile and the Zhiyun, whatever the heck this is, Smooth 4. And there's some features on this one that I specifically needed, but it was a really tough decision. The Osmo Mobile is a fantastic phone gimbal. And the main thing that I like about DJI products is that DJI makes all of the drones with the gimbals for doing video and photos while things are in motion and doing image stabilization. Their gimbals are amazing, and it's the same gimbal technology that they put into the Osmo series.
Yes, and we're familiar with the drones. So.
Oh yeah, we have those as well, although my battery charger died.
Oh yeah, you told me.
Yeah, so...
Do you want to show them this device in action? Show them the pups?
Let's go through animals first, and then
okay.
And then sure, we'll go look at the pups. I'll just leave this up here so that it can be a prop.
A prop, yeah, wonderful. All right, here's what. Oh wait, before we do that, let me just explain what I'm doing. So I'm adding dots with this gel pen, and I'm adding some of them with more pressure to create thicker dots, and some of them barely touching the paper to create very light dots. Oh my God, what? Did you not have your mic on?
Oh wow, those two batteries are gonna die.
Oh, good catch.
No, somebody told me that my mic turned off. Yours is about to turn off. Stand by.
Okay, I will.
Keep talking.
I can keep talking? Okay.
Actually, you know what? Wait for mine to come back on.
Okay.
Okay, hold your breath. You're still holding your breath, aren't you?
Yes, I am. You told me to hold my breath.
Yeah, keep holding. Keep holding. Pretend you have to swim under the floor of the Titanic and that it's sinking. Okay, you're back.
Yay, I'm back. Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for telling me that the batteries
you.
ran out. I thought these two were fully charged, but apparently they weren't.
Thank you.
So now we've got another 2 hours.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so the important thing in creating a star effect is adding dots that have an element of randomness, not only in the way that they're spread out, but also in their size. So I'm adding thicker ones by applying more pressure and also swirling the pen around a little bit to actually draw a thicker dot. And then I'm adding lots of little ones by barely touching the paper. So as long as you have this size variation, that will come across more as stars. And the way that I'm deciding where to place them, I'm actually placing more of them in the areas of the fox that are already lighter, so more to the eyebrows, as if the stars are making the fur lighter. That's why the illusion works. So because I have a higher concentration of dots here in the lighter area, your brain associates the lightness with the glow. So now you think that the eyebrows are glowing because there's so many stars there. So in the areas that are darker blue, I'm adding just a few dots here and there, and that's enough for you to understand that there's stars there, but it's the clusters of stars that create the glow. Okay, what do we have for animals?
Oh, we got lots of animals.
Oh, I love animals. What kind? What kind?
We have...
Let me send some kind of an animal through.
Bruce has an 18-pound orange Maine Coon called Baxter.
Oh, those are great. They're giant cats.
Wow.
Wow, Maine Coons are gorgeous.
I gotta scroll back a little further. That one just caught my attention here. I want to start at the beginning.
Baxter.
All right. Kelly has a dog.
Oh,
Ellen has a Cocker Spaniel Poodle mix named Rocky.
nice. Great mix.
Evelyn has a dog and 2 cats, but
Yes.
used to have a ferret and mice. Hi, Riggs.
Riggs,
Riggs. Riggs is my friend.
your biggest YouTube fan.
Mel has had loads of animals, including chameleons, dogfish, guinea pigs. Oh, sorry, not dogfish.
Dogfish.
Dogs, fish, guinea pigs, rabbits. They made commas for a reason, Mel. And mice.
Dogfish.
An interesting and unexpected side effect of having stopped the construction when we did is that there's some opening where every couple of weeks or so there's a mouse that gets
Mouse
into
in
the
the
attic.
house.
Yeah. We've also had them in the what we call the airlock, which is the pantry that we built out on that side, but we think that they're coming in under the door, and that's good. The dogs can handle that one. But every so often I hear a scratch, scratch, scratch in the ceiling, and I go up and I put a trap up there, and a couple days later I've got a dead mouse.
Yeah.
Not the DJ, he's different.
Dead mouse.
Dead Mouse the DJ does not live in my attic, although I bet he wishes he could.
Yeah.
Maureen has 2 cats, Spooky and either Ellie or Eli. I'm not sure.
Spooky, what a great name for a cat.
Iselina has a Chihuahua who she thinks was a cat in a previous life.
Oh, wonderful.
There's Bruce with his Maine Coon.
Maine Coon.
I don't know why you need to say Maine Coon like that, because they don't talk like that in Maine. But you just think of big old cats.
Maine
Shelly
Coon.
has 2 cats, 2 ferrets, and a Russian tortoise. Russian tortoise. Russian tortoise is the smartest of all the tortoise family because he's very cool. He has time to think. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Barbara has a dog and 2 really sweet feral cats or dogs. I'm not sure. Feral cats that she
Feral
takes care of
cats.
outside in the yard.
Aww.
Diane has 2 rescued chihuahuas.
How wonderful. I know that Madame Laurie also has a bunch of chihuahuas.
She says that she used to always have large, powerful dogs, but now is in an apartment by herself, so she went small, and that they are total clowns.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
Mel isn't sure if she wants to get a Maine Coon or a Bengal.
What's a Bengal?
Well, I know Bengal tigers. I don't think she's talking about that, though.
Oh, maybe it's another large breed cat.
Maybe. Have you seen Aussie cats?
Oh, Aussie cats are cool.
Aussie cats are cool, but they're not, I don't think they make good pets. I think they're just a little too
No,
wild.
they're a little bit
Oh, Riggs is outside chasing squirrels.
not fully domesticated.
Squirrel.
All right, I actually have time to keep working on the fur, so I'll do that.
Vitini is asking the name of the camera again. I think you mean the little one.
The little one,
If you're
Osmo.
talking about this little one here, this is an Osmo Pocket. If you give me a second after I start doing animals, I'll put a link to that in the video description.
Yeah, I think I should start adding that to my kit.
Yeah.
The actual camera
And I'll-
equipment that we use.
I'll put the links to this gimbal as well as the gimbal that Sherry has in the description as well.
I actually moved through this really fast, and now I have time to continue working on the fur as we continue our lovely conversation about animals.
So Crystal wants to know if I have the extension rod for, I'm guessing for this gimbal. I don't. I use this one handheld, but I also have a full-size, it's not from DJI, but I have a full-size gimbal for DSLR, and that I have an extension for because that thing can be a beast.
Beast. It's important to say beast that way.
You have the beast in your sights. This money penner. Everyone's like, as I'm scrolling through, what? Abby has 10 sugar gliders?
What are those?
Wow.
What are those?
That's cool. I'll pull up a picture of a sugar glider.
I don't even know what kind of an animal that is, but it sounds cool.
They're like the little lemurs. Oh, I'm totally going to cough. Hold on.
The little lemurs. That's incredible. Those
You
are
like how I
so
very
cool.
quickly muted my microphone and switched to Lisa so that all you could hear was me coughing far away in the distance?
I liked it.
That's called production.
That's exactly what it's called.
Sugar gliders, look.
They are insanely adorable.
Yeah, they're adorable. You have 10 of those. They must be a handful.
Yeah, I can
Pun
only imagine.
intended.
What?
And a cat. I bet your cat hates them. Cat's probably like, bats.
Bats.
Damn things flying over my head.
Bat country.
Barbara says, thanks for the explanation on the stars. I've been doing it all wrong.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed and learned something new.
Sherry has a big fat black cat.
One of the rare people who recognize that their cat is fat.
Shut up.
Most people don't.
We had somebody come look at the apartment when we were leaving Brooklyn.
Yeah, for
And my
the
cat came running through the
fire
room. And he was
sale.
like, what was that? I was like, that was a raccoon. And he's
he's
like, really?
really?
And I'm like, no.
No.
But she looked like a raccoon.
She was
had
so
a big old
fat.
fat butt.
But for the longest time, we would get so offended. People would come over and they'd be like, whoa, that's fat cat.
And I'm like, no, it's not. Her harness just shrunk.
Right?
Bernie says your fox is stunning.
Thank you.
Don't you talk about her fox.
Thank you.
Iselina's dog's name is Harmony, but they call her something else.
Oh.
Helen's got a couple of rabbits in the backyard.
Rabbits. We have rabbits too, but they're not pets. They're just, they're kind of pests actually. Feral rabbits.
So I keep scrolling through the chat, and then every time somebody writes something new, it jumps to the bottom, and I have to scroll back up to try and figure out where we are. So if I missed your animal, I'm sorry.
I will read I will read the chat after the
rabbits.
show, and I will know what it is that you're harboring at home.
Jasmine's not allowed to have pets in the apartment, so she just borrows Lucy from a friend. He's a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Barbara's dog is a Chai Weenie.
Chai weenie.
Sam has a
Cute.
rescued blue-tongued lizard.
Yes, I do know
That's
about that.
cool.
And of course, Max.
He almost died from being too cold,
Oh,
and he was out of hibernation. So she's nursing him back to health, and she's going to release him.
how wonderful.
Apparently, Bengals are only a step away from a wild cat. Bengal kitties.
Bengal kitties. Okay.
So apparently, fourth generation are more domesticated.
I like
cool.
that story. Sam always has a lot of animals, and of course Max, the dog who is deaf. But
Apparently, the word for Iselina's dog is not permitted in this nice family-friendly YouTube stream. That's okay. You want me to go see our dogs?
yes, please. Let's show our dogs.
Okay.
Okay, I will.
My mic will work.
So I switched
yeah,
to
audio will
this?
stay on, so you can just switch to it.
I'll switch to it when you get there, so that they don't have to watch the dark hallway,
It's so scary.
because it's so
The
scary.
camera adjusts. Okay, I'll tell
Okay,
you.
he's going now to my room, where I work. That's actually my computer room, where I do my digital work and
Okay,
actually use
go
my
for it.
computer. But the dogs took it over.
Go for it. Turn it on.
It is on.
Oh no, stay, Shelby. Stay, sweetie. Stay, come back in. Come on, come back in. Oh, she doesn't want to come in. Hello. Hello. You guys, your nose is in the camera. That's hard for the people to see. Oh, this is the hobo den. This is, that's Shelby's. Shelby, come to your place, sweetie. Come to your place. Come on. Come to your place. Show him your Merkle. Oh, good girl. And that's Foxtail's den. And that's Lisa's den. Let me actually turn the light on so you can get some light there. Oh, look at that. Lisa's desk of creativity. There you go. These dogs have no idea why I'm here or what I'm doing or why they're not allowed out of the room. Are you cold, sweeties? You look cold. Too bad. Stay. Stay. All right, you can come out of there.
Okay. So that is what we call the hobo bed. The thing where Shelby sleeps, the yellow one, is a beanbag, and she has a beanbag in every room, and that's her parking place. She loves beanbags. Oh. Hello again.
So this is the effect of having something on a gimbal. It allows for slow movements that absorb the motion and vibration that would otherwise be present in my hand. And as I move around, it stays image locked on the thing that's in its view.
So it's not shaky.
Yeah, so it's not shaky. And we can do slow pans. And there's our new light.
Oh, show them the light, yeah.
This is the new light that we just got yesterday. All of those little arms come off. It's actually a ring light. It's designed for you to put the camera on that little platform behind it with the lens going through and for better illumination, but we're just using it as a fill light for me. Gimbals are amazing if you are doing motion stuff. So if you're, for example, walking, like I'll walk towards the door here, it absorbs what would otherwise be the up and down bouncing of my footfalls. Or the same thing with movement, it catches up on its own very smoothly. But if all you're doing are static tripod shots, a gimbal's not necessary. You can still put them on a tripod and have flexibility in what you're shooting.
Yes, I only use the Osmo for my coloring recording because of the quality of the recording.
Yeah, the Osmos will shoot in 4K. Our newest iPhones will shoot in 4K. For this one, I'm actually using an iPhone 6 because it still works fine. But the Osmo is great, and the Osmo is just super portable.
Yeah, like the fact that you can literally put it in your pocket and go for a walk.
But the thing about iPhones or Osmos or any type of small handheld like that, GoPros and things, they don't allow you to do dynamic depth of field. So with a DSLR, if you want to get that nice blurry background for close-up shots, you can see as I come in on Lisa here, everything that's in the background is also still totally in focus. Hello. So for those of you who have streams, if you're looking at the technology that you might want to use, consider what you're going to be using it for. Maybe you don't need a DSLR because they're expensive, especially when you start getting into lenses. Maybe you'll be fine with a camcorder. Maybe you'll be fine with just your phone, on a tripod, and that's totally fine as well.
Yes, and modern phone cameras are extraordinary. The iPhone camera is a professional camera.
Right. And maybe you even have something laying around, like this camcorder here that I have from 2011, which is useful for basically nothing right now, but it makes a wonderful overhead drawing board camera for Lisa.
Yep. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. And for our other amazing pet, I have a video for you guys. That wasn't a video, that was a picture. I forgot to change the button. Once upon a time, we lived in a rental house on the coast of Chile near a town called Valparaiso. We had a house, a yard, and a neighbor who raised chickens, fancy chickens, and peacocks, lots of peacocks. And he had a problem. He had a very bad tattoo. I happen to be a tattoo artist, and as a gift, I offered to cover the skeletal, chain-smoking, private investigator turned musical bandit. Yeah, he needed my help. 4 sessions later, which is like 12 hours spread out over 2 months, our very nice neighbor now had a very nice peacock tattoo. This, I think, was a bit more than he expected, so he was overjoyed and he decided to repay the favor. What he had to offer in return was a baby peacock. So that's my boy Kevin. That's Butthead, and that was a short part of a longer video that I did. That's also up on my channel. That if you guys want to see the full story of Kevin and how he came to be and how I raised him and what he looked like as a baby, it's either linked in the video description or you can just search for it. It's called Birds of a Feather, and that's Kevin. Kevin is on the cover of my book. Fantastic Familiars, Volume 1. This is a very shiny cover, so I hope you guys can see it without glare. There he is. There's my Butthead. And
Do you want me to zoom out a little bit? Or?
Butthead is his official name. No, it's okay.
Okay.
Let's see. Where is he? Where is he? So this book is full of animals. Oh, these are actually... Fantastic Familiars 1 is based on animals that you guys have. So every single animal in this book is somebody's pet. These are all of Sam's pets, except for the kangaroo. I put that one in just for fun, because she's Australian.
She's Australian.
But
I think kangaroos are like the national pet of everyone.
But this is Sam. Oh no, actually, I think she might have been housing a kangaroo during the time that I was working on this book. I think she was. I think she was actually housing a recovering kangaroo. So it made it into the coloring. But these are actual pets. Somebody's pet monkey. Somebody's cat, somebody's rat, somebody's rooster. Like, these are all real life animals, and in the table of contents you can find out who they belong to and what their names are. This iguana, who's very dapper, is also somebody's. Like, every one of these animals is a real life animal, and of course there he is. Butthead himself, and this is what Jennifer will be coloring on her show, and I do have a picture of that for you. That's the coloring that Jennifer already did, and she will be showing us how she did that amazing background, because I don't even know how she did that, so I am very excited about this show. It's 1 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so I am moving a lot faster than I thought I would be. Actually, if you could zoom me out again, because my tail is off.
The charts.
The charts, that's good.
Yeah.
And then I'll move it like that.
Oh my gosh.
I know, I'm doing that thing again.
So I'm gonna like build a barrier so that you can't push your artboard off the back end of the table.
That's my thing. Okay, what else is happening in the chat?
Oh, people just talking about stuff.
Cool.
Pets and animals.
Stuff and things.
Oh, and Sam used to have a kangaroo named Charlie.
Yes, that must be the kangaroo, Charlie.
That's great.
We have a mystery to solve. Maybe you guys can help us. Do you want to play whodunit with them? With the rat?
Okay.
Okay, so we have forest rats. Big, nasty, gray, terrible things.
Actually, no. Hang on a second. Let's not lie to them.
Okay.
These rats.
They're not nasty, but
They
they're
have
scary.
like the nicest, smoothest, prettiest fur. They look like they go to the hairdresser.
That's true,
and
they
get
are.
their fur conditioned.
They are quite
They're
soft.
fat and
They're like
well
bunnies.
fed. And we live in farm areas, so I don't know how far they go, but like I'm sure that they can find food from our neighbors and whatnot. We don't have food around. They don't get into our trash. They just live in the woodpile, and then they go over the wall and they go foraging in the forest and stuff. They're actually quite sweet.
They are quite sweet, but they poop in the wood.
Yes, it's not so much that they poop on the wood, they
They
pee all
on
over
the wood, so it smells funny.
And it smells terrible. I mean, it burns just fine, but
But it smells really bad. Well, the dogs can see and hear them in the woodpile, so the dogs are always tormented by the rats. But we also have other predators. We have grisons, which are like ferrets. We have a feral cat who comes around. We call her Musette.
Musette. I should say Argente once. Actually, I don't know the rest of the lyrics for that. Gay Paris. Come on. If you've seen Gapery.
Great.
Tell me in the chat.
Great movie. Animated movie. Very beautiful.
Oh, the money cat knows where the money goes.
So Musette is a fully white cat, which is why I called him Musette. So Musette is out there. We have grissons, we have owls, and we have snakes. So lots of things hunt rats as well, and we also have foxes, or at least one fox that we know about. And of course the dogs. Occasionally the dogs catch rats also. Well, the other night we were asleep and it was very quiet, and then we got woken up by this scream.
Hang on, we were actually awake. You know how sometimes you wake up and you're not sure why you're awake, and then a couple seconds later something happens?
Like we were both
we might have
awake.
actually heard something that
true.
woke us up that just hasn't registered with us. Followed by
A scream, a very specific scream that I know as the scream of a rat. Don't ask me how I know this, but I know what a screaming rat sounds like. And a rat screaming, it carries that sound. It could be very close to the house, it could be under the house, it could be all the way by the wall. It's hard to tell, but it was definitely a screaming rat, and then silence. So here's the mystery. This is a locked room mystery. It is called the locked room mystery because our two detectives, who are canines, the two lovely dogs that you just met, were in fact locked in their room at the time. So they have no idea what happened. But they too were woken up by the mysterious, blood-curdling screams of the dying rat.
of Mr. Rat.
Mr. Rat.
His first name is Dying.
So, so our five suspects are Gary the Grisson, which is like a ferret. He's very shifty.
It's like a ferret Wolverine. They don't have a gene for fear.
He is fearless and silent and hunts in the night.
It's so adorable.
Yes, so adorable. Our femme fatale, Musette, the white cat, who may have done it, but I think she would have made a lot more noise and woken up the dogs beforehand. But the dogs didn't wake up until the rat screamed. So that takes us to our third suspect, Sammy the snake, who is slithery and silent and can hunt rats under the house, but is very scrawny and perhaps can't handle an entire rat.
You'd be amazed what snakes can eat.
Could be, could be. Our fourth suspect, the hag.
Oh, the hag.
The hag is a horrific sounding night owl
We're pretty sure it's an owl.
whom we've never actually seen.
She's like a harpy.
She's like a harpy, and they actually call her the hag here in Chile. And it does sound like something out of a horror film.
It's in the forest. It's only like at sunrise and sunset, and it's this horrible screeching
We love animals.
woman-bird noise
Yeah,
thing.
we love all things nature, but this thing, it's pure evil.
The hag.
The hag.
For a while, only I could hear it because I get up before Lisa, and oftentimes when Lisa's getting ready for bed, I'll still be in my office. So she'll have like the shower on or whatever, and or she'll still be
And
asleep.
he's like, "Did you hear it?
I'm like,
Did you hear it?"
Did you hear it? It's like she's in there. It's like
Oh, blood
it's this
curdling.
horrible. It's even worse than that.
We can't convey it, but it's properly something out of a horror film.
Yeah.
So that's our fourth suspect,
Yeah.
the hag. And our fifth suspect, of course, is Freddy the Fox. But Freddy the Fox doesn't usually come near the house, but perhaps he does at night. We don't know. So let us know in the chat who you think did it.
They're already
Who
saying owl.
killed the rat.
Owl first, Grissom second.
Okay, we are curious. The investigators did go out in the morning to investigate, and they said that the event happened close to the house.
Oh, they're all saying owl.
Owl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cats go for the throat.
Also,
Snakes have to be warm to eat. That's a really good point. Or
it's
snakes probably chillaxing somewhere,
winter
especially if
right
it was
now.
overnight and it was on a cold night.
Yeah.
So he wasn't out at all. Good point.
Okay, very
Snake.
good point.
Snake has an alibi.
Snake has an alibi.
Who's
I was frozen. I was frozen. Okay, Snakey has an alibi. There's also no body.
There is also no body.
There's no body, there's no blood, but there is a scent trail.
Yeah, owl makes sense if the owl came down from above and just hit it,
And
then
it
it would
screamed.
scream before it got flown away.
Yeah.
Before it got taken up to
And-
the heaven
And I
place.
think please keep your votes coming. We are curious to solve this murder mystery.
Oh, we didn't even. Did you say Freddy the Fox?
I did. He's our fifth suspect.
He's our fifth suspect.
Freddy the
Okay.
Fox. But I'm not sure.
Freddy doesn't come into the dog zone.
He doesn't come into the dog
He
zone.
circles the property. He comes out of the forest.
I've never seen him closer than Zone 2.
Yeah, he comes out of the forest. He traverses the edge of Zone 2 to the road, and then he comes along the road and then goes through the blackberries and under the bridge to the river. He's never come actually on.
This close. And he has plenty to eat out there because there are rabbits all over the field.
Yeah, there's rabbits out there.
And there are mice and all sorts of things that are not hunted by anything else.
Yeah.
So he's quite happy. He wouldn't need to come here.
Yeah.
But Musette, what about our femme fatale?
They're saying the cats would tend to go for the throat. Crystal loved Gapery! Nice! Nice.
I love Gapery.
That movie, watching that movie as an adult is completely different from watching it as a child.
Yes.
Watching it as a child, you're like, oh, it's a pretty song, some pretty pictures. And watching it as an adult, you're like, hey, you're totally high.
Well, my favorite part is all the art. I don't know if you remember that part, but there's a part
Oh,
where...
yeah, it's all the real art.
All the
right?
real art,
But
yeah.
redone with cats, or?
Redone with cats. Musette, when the evil cat is seducing Musette. Oh, and he's writing a letter. He's writing a letter, and he's attaching all the portraits that were done of Musette by famous painters. So he has Miao Casso and Miaonet and all the famous impressionist painters who did portraits of Musette. And in the cartoon, you actually have examples of that. So the cartoonist had to make a cartoon version of each famous painter's style that's recognizable. So there's impressionist, there is surrealist. Dali also did a version of Musette. There is pointillism, there's cubism, all sorts. And of course, it had to be done in the cartoon style. It's absolutely brilliant.
The jury says owl.
Owl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scent trail away. So Grun says scent trail away from the incident would be the rat's pheromones.
Okay.
Pheromones.
Pheromones.
Some people think it was the cat, but if we're going by popular vote,
Okay.
owl is guilty.
The cat owl is guilty.
Oh, and the cat would bring the body as a gift.
Oh, interesting. I am leaning away from cat because the dogs tend to hear animals under the house, near the house. And
that's true. They did not. They will alarm if there's like a rabbit chillaxing under the house.
Yeah.
They didn't get up until they heard the scream, and then they were like.
Yeah. So for somebody to fool the dogs, somebody had to be very, very stealthy. So death from above it was.
Nice.
All right. Well, thank you guys for helping us solve a real life murder mystery. How exciting is that? Live on YouTube.
Some of you have asked if we have night cams set up. We don't. I have surveillance cameras set up. Actually, most of them are torn down right now because of the construction, and I haven't bothered to put them back up yet. Because we're always home. So it's like if anybody's, they're anti-people cams, and they, yeah, whatever.
And we're always home, with guard dogs.
Guard dogs and guns. So, and they know it.
And they know.
But I do have in my Amazon wish list for like the next order that I put in a couple of night trail cams for not just seeing what happens, but I want to put one on the woodpile because I need to know where the rats are entering and exiting the woodpile so that I know where to put traps.
I would also like to put one in the aviary because there's another murder mystery that needs to be solved this summer.
That's freaky.
There is, tell him.
So our aviary's in kind of a bad place. It gets
As you saw in the flood video.
well, not yet. So it starts getting sun late in spring and it stops getting sun before everything else. I don't know whether early in fall, whatever. So our chicken egg laying cycle is much shorter, and therefore we only tend to get one round of baby chicks in a given season. And first, Lisa does a good job. Once the chickens go broody and we're collecting eggs, she'll keep some of the eggs and she'll mark the ones that are allowed to hatch so that she knows which ones to take and which ones not to take. Because all the eggs, once a chicken's broody, like all of the chickens put their eggs in the same basket.
Yeah.
So we don't want to take the ones that, are developing. Sometimes they just disappear. Like the eggs with the X's on them just straight up vanish.
No broken shells,
No broken
nothing.
shell. They're just gone.
And it's another locked room mystery because the aviary,
The aviary is secure. Like
meshed.
no predators can get in there unless they're small enough to fit through chicken wire.
And even the floor in the house, in the hen house, is
Chicken
meshed.
wired. Yeah. So that's curiosity thing number one. Curiosity thing number two is, if we get like 6 or 7 baby chickens in the course of a season, none of them ever reach adulthood, or maybe one. Maybe
yeah.
one. Some of them just die because that happens
That's
to
just
baby
natural
chickens.
selection.
But frequently, there'll be 5 chickens today, and they're not just little baby peeps either. Like they're starting to develop and get some feathers and stuff like that. And so there'll be 5 today. You go out tomorrow, and there's 4.
And they're just gone.
Gone.
Just poof.
Gone. No feathers. No kill site. No nothing. Just gone.
And nobody knows anything. All the chickens are like,
Yeah.
although this one time though, I walked in and there was a chicken missing and everyone was freaking out. There was that one time. Actually, not the adult ones, but the peeps were all freaking out. The peeps were all bunched up in the corner and screaming. And then the one that was screaming the loudest disappeared the next day.
They're saying that's the snake.
That's the snake. And of course, that happens in the summer when it's warm.
Yeah.
So snake is a candidate.
Nice. Crystal knows Ricky Tikki Tavi too.
Oh, I love
Oh, come on. Trick, 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 trick. Nag and Nagaina.
him. Oh, so cool.
Child, I will kill him. Dude, those snakes, cobras, those snakes are scary. But it did make me want a mongoose as a pet. My parents were like,
Oh, mongoose, so cool.
mongoose.
Mongoose. The Jungle Book, another story with amazing animals. I grew up reading the Jungle Book and all the associated stories, which actually, the mongoose story is from that same series.
So Cindy is saying snakes swallow and then crush the egg, and then they can fit back through the wire.
But
That's a possibility.
That's what I was wondering about, because even if the snake gets in through the wire, how does it come out like all inflated?
Yeah. So I will be getting a couple of trail cams to see where the rats are in the woodpile, what's going on in the aviary, and also sometimes I set traps up by the woodpile and something trips them without actually getting caught.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what's doing
If that's
that.
the rats.
Yeah, if the rats are there with tiny earth-moving equipment or something
Yeah.
like that, and they're like, "Meow, kapow."
The rats are
They get the
very
bait.
smart. They are very smart.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. No, that first rat wasn't very smart. The one that we caught on
The first night?
First night.
Yeah.
They sent him in there and they're like, "Hey, Bob, go check that out."
Yeah.
Okay.
Patty wants to know, do you mix wax and oil pencils?
I do. And I never have any problems. You all right?
Yes, I'm just talking.
Oh,
I'm getting cold.
I too am getting cold. I think the fireplaces are.
The fireplace is out. We have a fan in the main room of the fireplace that we frequently, so we keep that on during the day. It's got a vaulted ceiling, so as the heat rises, that pushes it out and it spreads it into the other rooms. But we turn that off when we're recording or streaming, because otherwise in the background you just hear wow, 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 wow. So instead I will just make that noise for you for the remainder of the stream. We only have 3 minutes left.
Oh my God. Well, thankfully, I am almost done, actually. That's freaky. Not done, but at least I finished the blue on the fur, which was a lot more than I expected to do. So I will take some final questions. If anyone has any questions about anything at all, animals, the coloring, Jennifer's stream, what else
leaving.
is...
Bye, Helen.
Bye. What else is happening? Remember that both Jennifer and I have our Etsy bundles up on our Etsy shops, where we offer a 30% discount on a 4-animal page set. So her set includes this fox page, my set includes the peacock page, and some other pages. So you can find that on Etsy, and that will be available until the end of July. So
I have not yet put the links to the 2 Osmo gimbals, the Zhiyun Smooth 4, or the whatever the other thing is, my DSLR gimbal. So as soon as the stream ends, while Lisa's making nachos, I'll post those into the video description.
Nachos.
So those of you who are interested in that tech can find those there.
Wonderful. Any other questions?
People are saying, thank you, great stream, thank you, Ewoks. Ewoks to you too, Space Cadet. Great job. Helen had to leave. Sherry says it was fun. Jawas. Jawas?
What?
These are Star Wars references.
Oh,
You know, the same actors who play the Jawas played the Ewoks.
really?
Yeah, and in fact, Wicket the Ewok is, oh man, I used to know his name. Lost it. He also does R2-D2. He's done a lot of stuff. He was Willow Ufgood in Willow. Come on, Willow.
Oh, yeah, I know that guy. Sure.
Willow! Mad Mardigan!
Willow's great.
Barbara says she just ordered 2 PDF packs. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you kindly.
Bye, Bernie. Thank you for joining the stream. We are happy to do this for you. Diane says, thank you. Such a fun stream. Mel says, Ewoks are cute. Flitwick. And Chewie. Look for the YouTube video of the girl sitting in her car with the Wookiee mask.
Oh, it's so funny.
Whenever she tries to talk, it makes Wookiee noises.
And she just dies laughing.
She dies
and
laughing,
her
and she's
laughter is so
laughing.
contagious.
Wookiee.
But then that makes her laugh, so it's a
Yeah.
never ending. It's so cute.
Oh, all right. Time is up.
Time is up. This is obviously not finished, but we did do a lot of work on the face and the gemstone. If you can just zoom us in one last time on the muzzle. Yeah, that's good. And I'll bring it forward now. So there you go. That's how I achieve my galaxy effects on fur. This was actually the first time that I've done a galaxy effect on fur. I think it was a success. I think it was a lot of fun. The thing to keep in mind is what we talked about, where to place the stars and how to place them. Don't just spread them out evenly. Make sure to put more clusters of stars in the spaces that are lighter. That creates the glow effect. And try it out for yourselves. You can try it on any furry animal at all. There are plenty of them in my books. There are plenty of them in Jennifer's books. And of course, we have the Etsy bundles up on Etsy. So do try the Galaxy Effect and share your colorings in my Facebook group, Tom. The link to which is, of course, in the video description. Thank you everyone so much for coming, for this amazing time, for all your animal stories, for helping us solve a murder mystery. How fun was that? Thank you so much, my patrons. I couldn't do any of this without you. You are a huge, huge, huge support. Well, I could do some of it without you, but you are a huge, 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 huge support. Thank you so much, Tech Support, for teching and supporting. And
We had 0 stream problems today, so I'm really pleased.
and a stream with 0 problems is extraordinary.
Yeah,
So
we just won the lottery.
yeah.
Nachos!
So amazing. We're gonna go eat nachos, and I will see you guys in exactly 1 hour on Jennifer's stream. So get your nachos too. Scratch your pups and your lizards and your alligators and whatever else you have at home. And we'll see you soon.
Bye.